Alright everybody, welcome back to another turn of Operation Maroon. This one will be a little bit different. I'm going to be taking over the Japanese for Japan 11. There is already a video of that out. We had a lot of changes made over the previous turn from housekeeping that he wasn't able to consider in his planning. So we're going to scrap the turn that's out, and this new updated one is the one that we're going to accept as valid. Also, war is unavailable in the short term for internet reasons, so I'm going to be recording for him. But I have made all of these plans in association with his video and discussions with him since then. Before we get into it, one minor bit of housekeeping from the British Commonwealth, the previous British Commonwealth player's turn. There was a coastal submarine in P50 that was supposed to raid, and it wasn't counted for housekeeping reasons. It was rolled off screen using the Dice Maiden bot and got a result of an additional 4 damage applied to the Japanese convoys, and that means 4 damage, or 4 less money, needs to be available in the Japanese bank. And with that, we should have everything in order to start the Japanese turn. As always, we will start with tech. We're going to be rolling for the same ones that he rolled in his video, but if we're recounting everything, then his original rolls don't count. So, rolling in radar at a 7 or higher. That's a 12, that's a hit. And large ships constructions, be sad if this one misses. Rolls at an 8 or higher. And of course it misses. So it absolutely swapped the results of tech for from the recorded turn. Okay, for the purchases, we're going to be declaring 1 naval transport, 1 destroyer, starting 2 heavy cruisers, building 2 militia, 2 marines, and 2 infantry, for a total of 38, clearing the bank. Okay, let's get straight into the combat moves. Got quite a few to declare. From A54, 1 submarine is moving north to A51, where it will convoy raid. From I1, 1 submarine is moving west into A54 and convoy raiding, and the other submarine is moving north to I4 and raiding. Okay. This is a mess of notes here. We'll just get through them one at a time. From P59, that is, yeah, 2 destroyers will be picking up 2 marines from Sumatra, and they're going to be moving westward into the Indian Ocean. I'm just going to wait there for now. They're going to be joined by 2 light cruisers, and they're all going to move into I-12, and they'll be joined there by a torpedo boat destroyer from P50. And this way, when they get to I-11, they've got a screening force of 2 light cruisers and a TBD, and the destroyers are going to be conducting amphibious assaults, 1 into Ceylon, 1 into Burma. I've already spoken to Silk, and he will not be scrambling his battleship out to stop those amphibious assaults. Okay, also from P59, 2 destroyers are moving north to P50, joining a naval transport moving north to P41, I think, next to Hong Kong. And from there, they're going to be picking up every unit in the 97th. 2 Marines are boarding the 2 destroyers, and then 1 Marine and 1 Mountain Infantry are boarding the naval transport. And that entire group will move back south into P50 and join a lot of other units there. Okay, from P59, the rest of the aircraft and aircraft carriers will be moving into P60. Staying behind will be 1 tactical bomber and 2 fighters. These are all in P59 still. So the 6th Fleet will be moving over east into P60, where it will join the 2nd Fleet. 1 infantry from the Celebes is going to be joining the 41st on those 2 naval transports that are staying with the 2nd, and then the entire cluster of ships, so the 2nd Fleet, the 6th Fleet, the 41st Army, and 2 naval transports are continuing northward into P50, which is 2 more sea zones. And they're going to be joining those naval transports from China. Okay. They're also going to be joined by 2 naval transports from P15 by Japan, picking up 2 Marines and 2 artillery. And they're going to be moving south 1, 2, 3 into P50. The heavy cruisers will join the 2nd Fleet. And these ground units will all be conducting an amphibious assault into Malaya. Okay, yeah, there we go. Also going to be a combat move. The fleet carrier from P15 is going to be moving also into P50 and joining the 2nd Fleet to catch planes. Okay. Oh boy, I should have done it in a little bit of a different order. One of these aircraft, a fighter from P59, is going to be mapping into P50 to prevent this submarine from doing anything squirrely. The other fighter is going to be going into Sarawak, and the tactical bomber from P59 is going to be going into Java. From Borneo, the mountain infantry is going to walk over into Sarawak. And also from Borneo, the Marines are going to be boarding the last naval transport that stayed behind in P60, where it will be joined by the last infantry from the Celebes. And the entire group there will be moving over into P59 and conducting an amphibious assault on Java alongside the tactical bomber we've already declared there. And they will be joined in P59 by 2 heavy cruisers, which will be bombarding in association with that amphibious assault. Okay. We have 1 more map to declare from Palau. The seaplane will be mapping into P51, and it will be not joined by any destroyers, so it's just him attacking alone as well. And 2 more to declare, 2 more attacks to declare. From P41, I think it is. Yeah, P41. The last destroyer will be moving north to Japan, 1-2 to P15, picking up the last Marine, and then moving south back to P41, 3-4. And the Marine will be conducting an amphibious assault into Hong Kong. The 18th Air from Kwangtung will be flying 1-2-3 and joining the fight into Malaya in its entirety. And from Dutch New Guinea, 1 infantry is going to march over and take New Guinea. Now, that should be all of the combats we want to declare declared. The only thing that needs to happen now is roll them out. Okay. New Guinea is captured for free. Burma is captured for free. Ceylon is captured for free. Okay. Let's go ahead and roll for the map first. So this is going to be a fighter mapping onto the coastal submarine, and we'll hit on a 6 or less. That's a 7, that's a miss. Next is going to be a seaplane rolling at a 3 or less. That's a 6, that is a miss. Okay. Next we'll roll for Sarawak. We have one mountain infantry rolling at a 2, and a fighter rolling at a 6 on attack. And in defense, should make this a different color. Will be a militia rolling at a 2. Attacking fighter does hit, and the defender misses. So Sarawak is captured without issue. Okay, down to Java, we have 2 bombarding heavy cruisers rolling at a 2 or less. Both miss. Onto the combat, we have 2 infantry class rolling at 1. Tactical bomber rolling at 7, and a defending infantry rolling at 4. Infantry missed on defense. We did get a hit on attack, so that does finally take Java for us. Okay, I do believe we only have convoy raiding and the big battle left. Okay, so let's go ahead and take care of the big battle. We have got all the die set aside already. So let's go ahead and move the units down too, I guess. And the 41st and the 97th are all going to. Oh, lost some of these. That should be everything. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, so we'll start with the bombardment phase. We've got attacking 5 heavy cruisers in the second fleet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 battleships and 2 battle cruisers. The battleships will be rolling in light blue, 4 or less, both miss. Heavy cruisers at 3 or less, 1 hit. And heavy cruisers at 2 or less, 1 more hit. Okay, so the defenders take 2 losses, be both their militia, before the battle starts. In response, the defenders do have coastal artillery with 3 die rolling at a 3 or less. That's 1 hit. That is going to be 1 damage placed on a battleship. So, find hull damage marker. There we go. And then also, when the battle starts, we have first strike rolls associated with the fortification. 2 die rolling at 5 or less. 1 hit, and that will go on a Marine. Okay. With that, we should be able to roll out the rest of the first round. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would have taken the militia first. They roll the same as a motor infantry in defense with a fortification, but only on round 1. So, yeah, we'll do it this way. Okay, so for round 1, attacking, we have 5 fighters rolling at a 6 or less. 1, 2 hits. 4 tactical bombers rolling at a 7 or less. 1 hit with target select. 2 hits without. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually enough to clear everything out anyway. Okay, so in defense, we'll be rolling 1 motor infantry at 4. That's a miss, and then 4 infantry class units at 6 or less with the fortification. 1, 2 hits in defense. That's 2 more Marines. And that's the battle over. Okay, so on attack we lose 1 point of damage on our battleship and 3 Marines, and that's it. I don't need to bring the die over. Alright. Okay, so, say the 97th stays here. The other task markers are all going to be empty. Okay. Okay, so from this battle in Malaya, some of these aircraft are going to be landing on the 6th Fleet. That's going to be one tactical bomber each on all of the fleet carriers, and then just fill it up with fighters. And that's going to remain out at sea in P50. The rest of the 18th Air, which is going to be one tactical bomber and one fighter, are going to be flying into Siam. Okay. From Sarawak, the fighter flew 1-2, and it's going to go 3-4 into Sumatra, land there. The fighter from Java flew from P59, so it's 1-2-3 into Sumatra. Actually, I'm going to make him join the 18th Air. 1-2-3-4. He'll land in Siam. Yeah, alright. And then the raiding fighter from, or not raiding, but mapping fighter from P50 is going to land in Sumatra as well. The seaplane is going to land in Cochin, China. 1-2. Yeah. Alright, I think that's all of the combats accounted for. I forgot the convoy rating. So we'll roll for the rating in I4. Roll the black die for the Japanese, the red die for the British Commonwealth. There should be a +1 modifier for the Japanese black die. No damage there. Rolling in A54, same +1 on the black die. That's no damage. And same again in A51. That is all 3 damage, but only 2 are left on the line. So that's 2 additional damage applied to the GB bank. Alright, with that, we can go on to the non-coms. We have 2 torpedo boat destroyers. I didn't account for having captured Hong Kong already, but that's free capture as well. 2 torpedo boat destroyers from P59 are moving north 2 sea zones to P41. Just gonna hang out there. Okay, and with that, I think all of our non-combats are done too. So I think we can collect our income and place our buys. And then clean up the board a little bit before passing everything on. Yep. Okay. Collecting our income, we have an income of 46 now, plus $11. So we'll go up to 57 for next turn before convoy raiding. Okay. Placing our buys. Oh, these heavy cruisers are just starting. They're not actually being completed. We'll be placing Marines in Kyushu, 1 infantry in Kyushu, 1 infantry in Rihi. The destroyer and naval transport will both be built in port in P15 in Kyushu. So let's get an import marker. There we go. And the militia, one will be placed in Sumatra, and the other one in Siam. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Everything should be in place now. Pass everything off to the next British Commonwealth Free French player. So we'll leave it at that and say best of luck on your next rolls.